New Browns year, new head coach, new everything except owner. I'm not even talking about last year. I'm moving right on to 2016 because last year sucked. Worst Browns year ever. I'm going to talk about the Browns off season. Going to talk about the Browns season coming up, the season preview, and NFL League season preview. And I'm also going to give week 1 predictions. Browns hiring Sashi Brown, Paul DePodesta, and Andrew Berry. Analytics, it's here. And what people don't realize about analytics is people think that it's just numbers, and that's solely how they evaluate. They use analytics for a lot of things. They use analytics for looking at diet across the league. They look for trends that work and trends that don't work, and that's just one example of analytics. I think analytics is going to work, but we'll have to see. New coach, Hugh Jackson. I like Hugh Jackson. I like the hiring. He was one of the most sought-after head coaches in the league last year, and the Browns got him. The Browns actually got their guy. And they had 14 draft picks. They fleeced the Eagles. Thank you, Philly. Kind of stuffy. First-round draft pick, Corey Coleman, wide receiver. I'll be honest, I never heard of the kid. He wasn't on my draft radar, but I like the pick. And as far as the Browns this year, I don't know what to expect. I can't make any predictions, even though I said I was going to. But with the questions on defense, I mean, we have weapons, but how are they going to work? RG3 at quarterback, I honestly, when making my predictions, I had to put them last in the league because I don't know. So moving on to the league predictions, starting with the AFC North, I got Baltimore winning the division. They can't suck as bad as they did last year. They had so many injuries. People are back. They drafted well. Baltimore is going to be on top of the division, followed by Cincinnati. Marvin Lewis, enjoy your final year as a head coach for the Cincinnati Bengals because you aren't making the playoffs this year. Good. Pittsburgh finishing third. They're on the decline. I'm not sure if I like Mike Tomlin as a head coach. He's not at the previous coach's head caliber. Bill Cowher was in another league, but not really. And, of course, Cleveland in the basement for now. AFC East, New England, as long as Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are together, no one's going to take this division other than New England. Buffalo finishing second. I like that the Bills have gone with Tyrod Taylor. They have confidence in him. Now they can build around him, and that's going to help them finish second. The Jets, Ryan Fitzpatrick is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's a career backup, and they overpaid him. They're done. And Miami is Miami. They'll be lucky if they have another 8-8 year. AFC South was a toss-up between Houston and Indy until I realized that Houston's defense is top 3 in the league, and they have a quarterback, possibly. The one from Denver that got benched over that greatest regular season has been of all time. Brock Osweiler. Good for Brock, by the way, for saying screw Denver, for benching him for one bad game when that's all Peyton Manning had last year. Overrated hack. Anyway, Jacksonville finishing third in the division. Jacksonville has been making a lot of smart decisions, not just in the draft, but free agency. I've liked their picks the past couple years. I like what they've done in free agency, especially last year, taking away free safety to Sean Gibson from Cleveland. moment of silence for that loss. But I like Jacksonville. I want them to do well. Tennessee finishing in the basement yet again, because Tennessee is awful. But they're getting a little better. The AFC West is going to be won by the Oakland Raiders. They have the best quarterback in the division, and they have the best defense in the division. And I like their weapons over the weapons that Kansas City, Denver, and San Diego have. Kansas City is finishing second. Denver is finishing third. They don't have that overrated hack that got the sympathy Super Bowl win. Yeah, I said it. And San Diego finishing in the basement. San Diego's just, they're not going anywhere. NFC North. The Green Bay Packers, of course, are winning the division. Chicago will have a decent year. Minnesota, that really sucks about Teddy Bridgewater. Tearing his ACL, I don't know how long he's going to be out the rest of the year, but that sucks. Going into his third year, now the Minnesota Vikings had to trade for Sam Bradford, which the Eagles get their pick back for next year. So Detroit, Matt Stafford, he's not the quarterback I thought he was going to be, and they don't have Calvin Johnson, so they're in the basement yet again. NFC East is the weirdest division in the NFL this year. The New York Giants, new head coach. The Philadelphia Eagles, new head coach, and they still have plenty of garbage from the Chip Kelly era. Ugh. Glad the Browns didn't get him after all. Good luck, San Francisco. The Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. I have the Giants winning the division. Philadelphia in the basement. Washington finishing second, Dallas third. And honestly, I did that in just a random order, reading that off. Because it was a random order of picking, because I don't know about this division. We'll see how it goes. Although, thank you, Philadelphia, for all those draft picks. NFC South, obviously South Carolina. The Carolina Panthers. Are they South Carolina or North Carolina? I don't care. Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and New Orleans. New Orleans is not going to go anywhere as long as they have Drew Brees. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and they're not going anywhere with him because he drains their salary cap. He is a salary cap killer. He got one Super Bowl win and thought he needed all that money. And they haven't been anything since. And you can blame Drew Brees, New Orleans. You can blame Drew Brees. The NFC West, Arizona, Seattle, the Rams, and then the 49ers. The 49ers may take over the role of worst team in the NFL this year because, one, they have Chip Kelly at head coach. Two, they got former Browns defensive coordinator from last year. I'm glad I can't remember his name because it'll just bring back memories. And they don't have a quarterback. Blaine Gabbert. Good luck, San Francisco fans. You're going to have a long year. And LA, that team should have stayed in St. Louis, but that's beside the point. St. Louis has good fans. They need a franchise there. And they don't have to build a stadium. They already have one. Starting week 1, Thursday night, Carolina at Denver. Cam Newton is going to carve up this defense. Cam Newton is going to be on his game, and Carolina is hands down getting the win in Denver. Watch. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Matty Ice, he's not the quarterback I thought he was. Tampa Bay wins this game. Buffalo at Baltimore. Baltimore at home. Tyrod Taylor's still getting his feet wet in the league. Joe Flacco's comfortable with his role. Baltimore. Chicago at Houston. Houston. Green Bay at Jacksonville. Poor Jacksonville. You have to lose yet again in week 1. Green Bay gets the win. San Diego at Kansas City. Kansas City's the much better team than San Diego. They have a dominant defense. Kansas City in the loudest stadium gets the win. Cincinnati at New York. Cincinnati. Minnesota at Tennessee. Minnesota, Tennessee is currently still one of the worst teams in the league. Miami at Seattle. Seattle, poor Miami. New York at Dallas. Well, the Giants at Dallas. Again, I kind of had New York winning the division, but I have Dallas winning this game simply because with the turnover in coach, you have to establish the culture, you have to establish the identity. Players getting familiar to the playbook. Dallas wins this game. In Dallas. Jerry World. Detroit at Indianapolis. Indy easily wins this game. New England at Arizona. Arizona's going to have a field day with Jimmy Garoppolo. Watch Jimmy Garoppolo to get sacked like at least 4 times and get picked off twice. I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he can be one of the top quarterbacks in the league, but not this year. I lived in Charleston, Illinois. I'm a Garoppolo supporter. Pittsburgh at Washington. Pittsburgh is the slightly better team. I think Pittsburgh's going to go into Washington and pull this one out. The Monday night game, the Raiders at San Francisco. I don't know why it's in San Francisco. You have this franchise moving to a city that's been waiting for a football team for a while. A few people waiting for a football team for a while. And they're not having it in LA. That doesn't make any sense to me. That the season opener should have been in LA, even if it's in some college arena. And the Browns at Eagles. I want the Browns to win this game for a lot of reasons. 1, to get a leg up on the rest of the division. 2, to show that they can win, get a better sense of how the team is going to play this year. 3, the Browns haven't won a season opener in a long time. And 4, the trash talking I can give to the Archfiend. If you don't know who the Archfiend is, he's now retired, sadly, from YouTube, but he's still active on Twitter. But the Eagles are winning the game. You have a brand new head coach for the Eagles, brand new quarterback for the Eagles, and the Browns. Hi, babe. My fiance's home. You have the Browns, who have a returning head coach, a coach who's coached in the past for the Raiders, and you have a quarterback who's quarterbacked before. But I still have the Eagles winning because of their defense. Eagles win this game, and that's about the best the Eagles are going to do all year. Other than that, the Browns hopefully are only going to go up from there and don't have turnover like there has been for the past several years. Are you making enough noise?
What are you talking?
I'm not talking to anybody. I'm making a video.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, that's a good place to end my video, so probably leave that in. Anyway, let's try to enjoy our teams this year. If you're a Miami, Tennessee, San Diego, Detroit fan, I'm sorry. And New Orleans, have fun watching your overpaid quarterback not make the playoffs again. Take care, guys.